All right, yo. So coming out with a Halloween video, maybe, or I'm hitting the smiling friends. This time talking about Pokemon since Legend ZA came out a week ago, and or I guess almost 2 weeks by now. And I like spent the latter half of the week playing it, catching up, and the general reception up until this game and like the release, the first couple of days, it's been really interesting. Um, especially like the Switch ones. So I want to like preface. This is gonna be a lot of like personal observations or like offhand comments and sentiments I've personally seen, and like I'm also just a very casual Pokemon fan. But with that out of the way, let's get to it. Okay, and then I want to do like all the Switch games. So we gotta go back to 2019. Starting with Sword and Shield and this this game I've been seeing a lot of like love for retrospectively on the timeline. But before that, like the genuine the general consensus was this game's un this game is mind-boggling easy. The starters are mid. Did the tree that picture of the tree set this the franchise back like 100 years. But it did give us the clip of Nessa from the GOAT himself. But my personal thoughts was I didn't like it. I thought it was pretty bad. I liked Corvin Knight had a ring Grimmsnarl, Nessa's cool. And now the reason I brought up like it getting love in hindsight is like maybe not graphically, but like I think like the stylization, the visual presentation of it in general, like it looks nice. It's super vibrant, and also this is the last time in a while we got like good gym leaders. The tournament was really fun, so you got like some sort of like attachment to them. You know, not not good, but not the worst start for the Switch. But then, dude, oh my God, there is no. I don't think I could be like critical or like objective in any way. No true analysis for this one. To truly hate, you must know what it truly means to love. And my God, do I love Sinnoh, I love Platinum, I love Cynthia, Frostlass, Toxicroak, Electivire, Garchomp's cool, the music, Team Galactic's goofy, but that's my goofy ass team. And then Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. And it's just Diamond and Pearl, which people already don't like because they're kind of not good. And like Platinum fixes all of its issues or most of them. And it's so lame. And then brilliant, and then like the games itself, it's like at the time I was like ambivalent or like not negative towards the chibi art style, and now like people talking about like all of the games retroactively. It's like, oh no, this was a no. We could have gotten like a new way to like see or like explore Sinnoh, and we just didn't. It looks lame. It sucks ass. It's so boring. Um, I just, dude, I just don't have. I just can't. Like of the Switch releases, this also might be like the one I've like put the least amount of time into. But hearing the Lakes theme will always get something out of me, and that's something that will never go away. But that's all they got. And then staying in Sinnoh or Heat rather. It's Legends Arceus, but truth be told, this one's a little hard for me to talk about because I don't really think I've gotten the most there is to get out of Arceus, and that's primarily because it's the first Legends game. It was really different. It's more action RPG than it is like turn-based combat, which really bugged me. But you can't you can't take the Hoenn or the Sinnoh out of me, man. I got the kick out of like the stupidest things, like seeing Silene, or the like move tutor girl who's Flint's ancestor. Like who likes Flint? But I liked seeing it. The thieves are cool. I will always, I will always be a Sinnoh shooter regardless of the circumstances. But also like this one, people aren't really talking about that much because this is also just straight up one that people actually like. This one's like universally liked or loved, so I don't really think I could personally add too much to like speak about this one. All right, and then we got Scarlet and Violet, the game that like truly sent us down this war path, you know, that maybe rightfully so, probably definitely gave Game Freak a horrible reputation. The Wug Trio clip stuttering at the very beginning. It's kind of like washed out or like it looks like water was sprayed everywhere and like rinsed out all the color in a lot of areas. And all that's true. But that being said, I've always enjoyed this game. I won't lie. I've always gotten a kick out of it. I think that like the actual contents of the game, I like a bunch of the new Pokemon. Nemona's a good rival that I don't think we've really had in a fat minute. The three main quests and then all converging in Area Zero at the end. I've always thought those aspects like not necessarily outweigh because the performance truly is bad. Like the fidelity issues of this game is insane. But I thought like those aspects kind of like to some extent go like really really hold up and are like almost as like weightful. Except the gyms. Even if people like Iono, I think Iono's cool. It's just man, a lot of this might be the potential game. I also want to say the game costs full price, then it should properly function. I will not excuse the alpha performance. It's just there's some things that are more to it than that, and I can appreciate them. And Game Freak's uh abilities and people's like perception of them getting obliterated thinking they can't do anything is a perfect segue to Legends ZA, the newest entry. And man, this past week or week and a half, this game's kind of been cursed. We got people dogging the new megas, people looking at window textures only, while like proportionally like the same amount of people are celebrating the game or two things, dare I say, more about it. If you've been on the timeline, and it feels like like truly, it does feel like people who either don't like Pokemon or like spiteful or upset that um people playing these games and enjoying them are people who like never played a Pokemon game or like don't really get it. And don't get me wrong, there are some complaints. This game has its faults. I think there could have been more to make Lumiose really big. I always thought like Castelia City and Black and White, Black 2 and White 2, that it always felt like bigger, more to it, and the skip to V to G, V to F or whatever is a little excessive. I know there's post game grind, but we could have lived with an extra few letters. And then my big miss is not bringing back roller skates. I thought that was sick. The absence of multiple main characters missing is also weird. Dude, this game's got so much going on. At least I think the music rules, the characters are sick from either their design or the actual character. Like Jacinth, Laban, Corbeau, and Mabel. Dude, I'm hoping Mabel is like the next professor for Gen 10. Like, I kind of love her attitude. It's so like different than everything else we've gotten. And aside from that, I need to preface, Arceus did it first. I want to like recognize that and acknowledge it. The here I can really speak about it more because like I played it all the way through. It's like fresh on the mind. I really do like that here. It's like you're really compelled to like naturally like catch any Pokemon you come across, and I would like be hard pressed to say there's a better Pokemon game, out there, at least a modern one. You probably gotta go back to like probably the DS era if you want something like of similar quality. And you know, that brings me to the end. The general thing is which say what you want about Pokemon fans mindlessly eating like the Game Freak slop, and there's some truth to that, but like I feel like, people, a lot of Pokemon fans just kind of understand. Give me something goaded. Give me something I will personally enjoy, or like as a fan of Pokemon, I will enjoy. And bada bing, bada boom, we're there. Like, we don't like high frame rates. Like, at the end of the day, don't really, I don't want to say they matter. It's like they don't have a big impact, Having, I feel like Pokemon just has that thing to it where you like, it's got it or it's don't, and that's what they really care about. Which, I don't. Okay, let me also say, or let me just like end it with these games aren't as bad as everyone makes them out to be. You know, sure they can be underachieving or like disappointing. Just straight up, they hit like most of these titles have been like. I think Scarlet and Violet and Legend ZA are like the only. Or no, 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 no. Arceus and ZA are like the only true like good ones, And then like Scarlet and Violet's just like what could have been, and we definitely deserve better. We should expect, as fans to like spend the money, put the time in. We should expect more and deserve better from Pokemon titles, but I feel like it's never truly as bad as like people make it out to be. Unless it's